Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the blues of December 2018. It is that time of the year again. The time we say goodbye to the old and hello to the new. But before we're gonna do that, let me show you what I got in December. And I got a lot. I got it on my birthday, on Christmas, and I also bought stuff myself. So, let's get to it. We'll start off with the Animatrix. This is a series of short animated films related to the Matrix films. You all know these, right? Really, really great anthology animation. Munich by Steven Spielberg. Excellent thriller, this one. I haven't seen it for a while. But this is an upgrade, by the way. The Diary of Anne Frank by George Stevens, who also did Giant, I believe, with James Dean. I've never seen this movie before. But it stars Millie Perkins as Anne Frank. She was also in The Witch Who Came from the Sea, which is part of the Arrow box set, the American Horror Project Volume 1 box set, Jason Bourne. This is a disappointing installment in the franchise, if you ask me. I mean, it's good to have Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon back again, but I expected more from them. I even think that The Bourne Legacy is a better movie than this one. It should have stayed a trilogy. If it stayed a trilogy, it would have been one of the best film trilogies ever made, But, there's a video by a YouTuber named Filmento, I believe, where he talks about this movie. And he is spot on. I pretty much agree with everything he says about Jason Bourne. I will put a link below to that video for those who wants to check it out. Okay, the next 5 are movies that I haven't seen. If any of you seen it, let me know what you think of it. Skin Trade, with Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, Michael J. White, and also with Peter Weller, excuse me, and Ron Perlman. This could be enjoyable. The Viral Factor, Hong Kong action, directed by Dante Lum. Is he related to Ringo Lam by any chance? I don't know, could be. Here's another Chinese movie, The Treasure Hunter, Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Indiana Jones meets the Mummy. Don't know anything about this. This is a Korean film, Blood and Flowers. Korea's blockbuster of 2009 and the most successful R-rated film of all time. Okay. And the last one is also a Korean film, Sword with No Name. Next is the Steelbook of The Equalizer 2. Pretty good sequel. The first movie is better, but this is a pretty good, solid follow-up, if you ask me. Yep, really good. Oh, by the way, sorry for the background noise if you can't hear it. Okay, next is a nice stack of 4K Blu-rays. The first one is Creed. I thought this was excellent movie. Who knew that there would still be life in the Rocky franchise, right? I'm looking forward to Creed 2. with Dolph Lundgren returning as Drago. But yeah, pretty good film. The next one is Ready Player One by Steven Spielberg. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I grew up in the 1980s, and this is full of references of 1980s pop culture, and the book as well. You know, the book is great, and I would recommend everybody to read it. The movie is different, however, you know, which is fine by me. But for example, the first game in the movie, which is this racing game with the T-Rex and King Kong, that's not in the book. You know, the first game in the book is something entirely different. And you might be wondering why Spielberg didn't use that game from the book. You know, perhaps he did. Perhaps he tried to work it out, but maybe it wasn't visually interesting enough. But yeah, I would certainly recommend reading that book. It's a really good book. I would actually prefer it over the movie, but still, you know, the movie is highly entertaining. Mission Impossible Fallout. What a fantastic movie. Perhaps the best one in the series so far. And it's definitely one of my favorite films of 2018. The problem I have with it, though, is that it's predictable. You know, if you've seen the previous movies, you know what to expect. You know, the surprises are not surprises anymore. But that didn't ruin the movie for me. I thought, you know, this is just great entertainment. And speaking of great entertainment, I also got Deadpool 2, the super duper whatever cut. This was hilarious. I enjoyed the hell out of this one. It's not as surprising as the first one, but it's definitely as fun as the first one. And the final 4K Blu-ray I got is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which was alright. I was actually surprised how small-scaled it was. Or it seems that way, because, you know, it mostly takes place in one location, which is this huge mansion. There were people who said that the movie should have been called Jurassic Mansion. That would have been a more appropriate name for it. But no, it's alright, and I am looking forward to the next movie, where, and this is going to be a little spoiler, by the way, the dinosaurs are now out into the world, so that could be very interesting. Okay, the next one is Creepshow. I finally got it. Finally got my copy of this wonderful set. You know, it took a little while for me to get it because Screen Factory or Shout Factory has closed down their main manufacturing plant, apparently. So that's why it took a little longer for me to get this set. But I finally got it. And it looks good next to the, you know, the Arrow Video release of Creepshow 2. And I also have this very nice looking lenticular edition of Maniac from Blue Underground. Oh, sorry about the glare there. I don't know if my camera can catch that. That is a little like that. But a wonderful release. And a cult classic, of course. 3-disc limited edition. You have the Blu-ray and 2 Blu-rays and the CD soundtrack over there, and a booklet. Yeah, very nice release. And I also got the other Blue Underground release, which is Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Now there are 3 different lenticular slipcases, and I chose this one, sadistic as I am. This has the infamous wooden splinter in the eyeball scene, of course. Look at that. That looks really good. Well, that sounds very wrong. That looks really good. But I like the way they have done that. And here is the set. just like Maniac 2 Blu-rays, and this is the original motion picture soundtrack, and of course you got the booklet as well. Yeah, nice release. Okay, next is A Star is Born from 1937. A Star is Born from 1954. And A Star is Born from 1976. And of course you have the 2018 version with Bradley Cooper, who also directed it, and Lady Gaga. I haven't seen that one yet because I wanted to watch these movies first. And there is another version, a version that nobody really is talking about. It's the original version, and I'm not talking about this one. I mean, it's the first one with this title, A Star is Born, but it's not the first one with this story. That honor goes to What Price Hollywood. And this is made in 1932. And it's strange because whenever people are talking about the original version, they talk about this one. But this is really the true original. Produced by David O. Selznick, the legendary film icon, best known as the man behind Gone with the Wind. And he's also the man who brought Alfred Hitchcock to Hollywood. And he produced this one as well. And this was directed by George Cukor, who directed the Judy Garland version, which is really my favorite version of these films, to be honest. Comes in this very nice dishy pack, I want to say. Also with James Mason. There he is, right there. An excellent performance by James Mason and Judy Garland as well. It's a lovely film. It really is. But also a tearjerker for those. I'm pretty sure you know what the story is about. You know that this is a tearjerker as well. Now there's also a digibook edition of this version, but that one is sold out and it got for crazy money, and I didn't want to spend too much money, so I got this German Blu-ray for cheap, and this is my least favorite versions of these four titles, and the reason of that is because of Barbra Streisand. I'm not a Barbra Streisand fan. I cannot stand her, to be honest, but I am a fan of Chris Christopherson, and he is very good in this. He was not the first choice, though. I believe the first choice was Elvis Presley. Barbra Streisand met him at a concert and she told him about this movie, and Elvis really wanted to do it. But his manager, the notorious Colonel Parker, he was mad that it went behind his back, and then he made these ridiculous demands. In other words, Elvis was out and Chris Christopherson was in. It's kind of unfortunate because I would love to see Elvis Presley in this movie. But Christopherson was great, nothing wrong with that, of course, but it would have been quite something to see Elvis in this particular role. So I got all of the versions of A Star is Born, and now I cannot wait to check out the latest one. Okay, I got Django from Arrow Video. A fine release, this one. Absolutely fine release. It also includes Texas Adios, which is another spaghetti western with Franco Nero. I haven't seen it for a long time, so I need to revisit this one. But there seems to be some trouble with this release. Let me take this J card out, by the way. I first thought that it was sold out before it was released, but that's not the case. The thing is, Arrow Video has withdrawn this edition from the market. I will put a link below in the description of a page where they explain the whole thing, but it has something to do with the rights and with the interference of Blue Underground. But I'm very happy that I got a copy myself, because this is just a fine release. It comes with a poster here, and of course you got the very nice looking booklet there. Wonderful artwork of Frank Nero and his big gun there. Looks really, really cool. And it's one of my favorite spaghetti westerns, Django, the original Django, from 1966. And of course you got the Blu-ray set with one disc you have Django and the other you have Texas Adios. And then there is you got the advertisement arrow card, and there you have these reproductions of lobby cards. Oh, there's something on the back as well. Yeah, fantastic release. And speaking of Arrow, I also picked up some titles from their sale, which is still going on, by the way. Future Shock, the story of 2000 AD, which is a documentary about 2000 AD, the British comic book company that is responsible for Judge Dredd and ABC Warriors. I have a couple of ABC Warriors comic books, by the way, and one Judge Dredd comic book somewhere. But I'm very much looking forward to check this documentary out. This looks like a really cool documentary. The Witches, which I don't know anything about. I know this is an Italian anthology film directed by these five familiar legendary filmmakers: Luciano Visconti, Mauro Bolognini. I'm not very familiar with that person. Pier Paolo Pasolini. This is the man who did Salo, the perfect, the best date movie ever made. Franco Rossi and Vittorio De Sica. And yes, that is Clint Eastwood, who has a small role in this film as well. So, I don't know what to expect of this, so looking forward to it. And the rest are all Japanese films. I got Bloody Spear at Mount Fuji. This is the other cover, by the way. And this is Uzumasa Limelight. This is not an Arrow release. This is a release by Third Window, but it was part of their Arrow sale. They also had some Shameless titles for sale. I don't know why that is. I guess they made a deal with these companies. But this is a Uzumasa is considered the Hollywood of Japan. It has produced many Jidaigeki films, period dramas with sword fightings, and it's using Charlie Chaplin's film Limelight as an underlying theme. So, yeah, homage to Chaplin's Limelight. So this could be very interesting. And I also got this box set, Family Values, 3 films by Hirokazu Koreeda, with I Wish, Like Father, Like Son, and After the Storm. I've only seen Like Father, Like Son, and that is a very beautiful, touching film. Now it finds 2 families in turmoil as they discover their 6-year-old sons were swapped, and they have been raising children who are not biologically their own. Now this sounds like a like a film that is overly sentimental, but is not. What's so great about this one. I remember watching a scene from an American television film with the same subject, and it was just dreadfully sentimental. But luckily, this is nothing like that. Well, let me show you what the contents are. Of course, you got the booklet there. Now, Koreeda is often being compared to legendary Japanese filmmakers like Ozu and Narube. This is After the Storm, which I haven't watched yet, like I said. Like Father, Like Son. And I Wish. And I also got one of his latest film, and that is The Third Murder, which I haven't also seen yet. I need to watch a lot of movies in the new year, but I heard nothing but good things about this. This is sort of a crime drama, but yeah. That is it for the Arrow sale. Next is the box set of. Now we're going to the box sets. By the way, I only got. I got a lot of box sets in this video. But anyway, this is the Once Upon a Time in China trilogy. This is actually a little misleading because it's basically a quadrilogy. There are 4 movies in total. Let me show you what they are. This is the first one. I love these movies, by the way, with Jet Li. Each one comes with a booklet, and then you have part 2 with Jet Li and Donnie Yen. There's a great fight scene between the two of them. And then you have part 3 and part 4, which is called Once Upon a Time in China and America. There's the booklet, and then there's the Blu-ray of part 3, and this is the one with part 4. So yeah, fantastic release. The next one is this box set of Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. This contains 6 of their movies. Let me show you what it has. By the way, start with this one first. Crime Busters. This was directed by E.B. Clutcher, who also did the Trinity films. That's not his real name. His real name is Bybone, something like that. Sorry about that. Odds and Evens. This one is directed by Sergio Corbucci, interesting enough. The director of Django, by the way. And I also believe he directed this one. Yeah, he did. This is called Who Finds a Friend Finds a Treasure. Yep. Clutcher did this one. This is Go For It. This is a fun movie. They're all fun movies, actually. Double Trouble, also by Clutcher. And this is Super Cop, which is directed by Bruno Corbucci, who is the brother of Sergio Corbucci. So yeah, entertaining movies, all of these. And a very nice box sets. Absolutely very nice. And the next box set, well, I'm a little embarrassed to show you this, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway. It's the Cece Trilogy. Now, you are either raising your eyebrows or you are laughing at me, and perhaps I deserve to be laughed at. But every year around Christmas, these films are shown on Dutch television. It's like a tradition over here, and I have never seen them before until 1 year ago. They're not my kind of movies, so that's why I haven't checked them out before. But for some reason, I decided to watch them, and I ended up enjoying them quite a bit. I do know that there are they're considered kitsch and campy, but I cannot help it. I think they're also charming. They're charming, lovely films. And how can you not fall in love with Romy Schneider? I mean, she's wonderful. And later in her career, she did everything to get rid of her CC image. She kind of regretted doing these films, and she took serious and daring roles to forget about this royal character. But it didn't really work out. I mean, if you asked people about Romy Schneider, 9 out of 10 would undoubtedly say CC. She will always be remembered as CC. But these are great Blu-rays, by the way. The picture quality looks stunning. They have restored the original negatives, and it looks absolutely stunning. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? I do enjoy them, and I think you can tell. I think you could say that these are my guilty pleasures. Next is the Blood Island collection. Yes, it's very strange, isn't it? From the Cece Trilogy to the Blood Island collection. But you know what? I think the first CC movie and Brides of Blood would make it a perfect double bill. No, seriously. Watch CC, then watch Brides of Blood. Have a few beers, take a few pills, and you have the time of your life. But anyway, these are 4 exploitation movies, all shot in the Philippines. They are full of gore, monsters, sex, nudity, the kind of stuff we all love to see. Let me start with this one. This is the first one. Excuse me. Terror is a Man. It has a different artwork there. Well, pretty much the same as this, though. But it has a different title, Blood Creature. Then you have Brides of Blood. The other title is Island of Living Horror. And this is Mad Doctor of Blood Island. I mean, look at the artwork. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely love the artwork. I haven't seen any of these films, by the way. These are all blind buys, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy them. This is the other title, Tomb of the Living Dead. It also comes with the soundtrack. There's the index card, by the way. And the final one is Beast of Blood. And the other title is The Beast of the Dead. Yeah, I cannot wait to check these films out. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Okay, from Filipino horror to American classic horror. This is the Universal Classic Monsters box set, complete 30 film collection. This is quite big, pretty big box set. I got this for a good price, by the way. And some of them has the same movies. Let me show you to you. This is the Dracula Blu-rays, and this has House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein, which is also on the Frankenstein Blu-ray, as you can see. And also Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. This is also on the Wolfman Blu-ray as well. But yeah, I could not stop myself from buying this set. I mean, I'm a big fan of these movies, so I needed to get it. And it also comes with this booklet. Yeah. Very nice. I also picked up the William Castle at Columbia Volume 2 box sets. Another great one from Indicator. Let me show you what it has. This is Straight Jacket with Joan Crawford. It was written by Robert Bloch, which is very interesting because this is the writer of Hitchcock's Psycho. So that could be very good. It also comes with the booklet there and the alternate artwork or cover art. This is the remake of the James Whale original from the 1930s with Boris Karloff. I believe that William Castle and Hammer wanted to make their own version, but then they decided to come together and make one version. So this is a William Castle and Hammer co-production, and they made a sort of a comedy out of it, by the way. There's the other artwork there. And then we have 13 Frightened Girls. I believe there's a different name. Oh yeah, The Candy Web. That's the other title of this movie. And the last one is Zods. Whatever that means. Sort of a wacky comedy, this one. And the final one is this gorgeous looking wooden box set of the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy. I did not know about this box set. It had been out for a couple of years now, but I did not know anything about it, so I was very surprised when I received it on my birthday. Let me show you the J card first. It's limited to 500. It's a Dutch release, by the way. And unfortunately, it is not English friendly. I mean, it only has German and Japanese audio, and German, Dutch, and Scandinavian subtitles. Although the Scandinavian subtitles is only available on the second and third movie, not on the first movie, which is a little strange. But yeah. What a great looking box set this is. It looks very nice. And opened up like this. And the first thing you see is this certificate of authenticity. My number is down there, as you can see. Nothing on the back. Then you have the Digipack edition. There's the first one, and then part 2, which is called Kyoto Inferno. The third and final one is The Legend Ends, and you have the bonus disc. So this is a really nice edition. And you have also these art cards. Let me open it up and show it to you. These are, kind of cardboard picture cards. This one looks very nice, doesn't it? This is, of course, based on the popular manga series, and there's also an animated version of it, which I've never seen. I don't know if it's a movie or a TV series. I'm not very familiar with them. But I heard, the fans of the animated version is disappointed with the live action version. But like I said, I'm not very familiar with the animation version, so I think they're really good. There's a lot of them. Absolutely a lot of them. Oh, this is the last one. That was the last one. Alright. Man, that is one sweet box set, this one. I loved how they've done that. Okay. And that is it for my December 2018 update. And also the last video of 2018. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, thank you for supporting me over the past year and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it a lot, and it means the world that you guys are continue watching my videos and continue supporting me. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And hopefully you will continue supporting me in the next year as well. But anyway, thank you. I wish everybody a happy, great, healthy, wealthy 2019, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.